he's got to be able to do it again. He's got to bring us to 6 here today, which is theoretically a 7. Because we have Pog State recording after this. We need to make sure that we spend as much time at Lord Park as possible.
Got a min-max.
Yeah, that's exactly how we, like, that's what we're born for on a Sunday night. So let's just hope that it does happen. Oh, there's a weird massive amount of N and then a lot of O's. I think someone must be leaning on their keyboard. It's on the teleprompter. It's very weird, but that's fine. We have Yone and Rumble banned away here first up by DRX, an understandable array of bans up against Zeus and Zeka. And Divine Fury to be taken off the board. Silas for this, the final ban. Where is Zeering?
So it might be, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it might be B1 Italy. And then you give Zeus Jace, and you might be like, Chronicle, you can't do that. But what if you pick Jace for Rich here? What do you think is going to happen?
They're going to pick Azir.
No, and then Zeus is going to play Nidalee into Rich Jace.
Yeah, or it's just going to be Jace Nidalee. And Peanut's going to play it. Or Zeka's going to play Jace, and then you give the Nidalee over to Zeus because they can flex everything everywhere, and it's frustrating. We kind of knew that this Azir pick was coming.
Oh, yeah,
Kallista's open. Why didn't they ban it, silly billies?
This is what I'm talking about. Wait, it's not fair.
What about if if DRX just lock in Nidalee Jace? Now, topside doesn't have any Nidalee set up at all, and it would be kind of awkward, but that would be lots of good champions.
It's good into Renata. You know, a lot of range.
Yeah. Well, the Jace is a no-brainer, as of course Rich certainly
the
has
more
the most
I
time
think
spent
about
on
it,
Jace.
I think that might be your angle.
I don't think you can pick the Nidalee.
No, I think you have to.
Really?
Well, no, but I'm trying to find solutions here, Atlas. Maybe Zeus doesn't go it. You know, how much does he love winning lane anyway?
A lot.
Yeah, he does. We will see what the pickup for Sponge is going to be here. The Poppy, I think, is a no-brainer. Because you have Azir, you're playing into Callista, you're picking Varus.
Yeah, instead it's going to be the Varus. And so now, HANWHA Life Esports can pick Poppy if they would like to.
Poppy
they can just ban it. They can pick Nidalee.
Pick Akali for Zeka.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one into the Azir.
They can pick Victor, but I would hate that because it's not
doesn't feel Zeka.
That's not what I want to see Zeka play. I remember his last Akali game.
Ooh, Katarina's available.
Oh, Zeka. We knew you were going to do this, but we didn't want it.
Yeah, I was really trying to throw a curveball to...
What did he go? Didn't he
from
get double-digit kills? Last time we played Akali? This was LCK Cup, right?
Yeah. The game that just... it was in the Mad movie, and he did that cool flash over the base gate and then ult out. That was cute. He had 1 billion more gold than his opposition.
Yeah, it was not okay.
Yeah, he killed 3 people in a row, and I think he had more money in total than all 3 of them.
Victor's consistent. It does make sense. So Viego and Poppy are my expected bans, although you can also pick up the Poppy for Peanut and then leave counter pick for Zeus. Again, Zeus already knows he's playing with the Jace, but you guys get what we mean.
The Viego ban is interesting. Of course, Sponge does like to play more aggressive champions, but with Jace and Azir in these side lanes, I don't think they want something as squishy.
Let's go with Varus, right? If it ends up being Viego Elise, that is played on the enemy team, then it's a really aggressive early game burst comp. Nico is already gone, so the Elise ban I actually quite like. I think that Renata does really struggle into those types of matchups. Maybe it'll be like, I don't know, Varus with any Enchanter. It's kind of what you look towards. Playing any engage into Renata always feels pretty bad.
Are we confused about the lack of Nidalee situation here?
Well, I don't think Peanut should play it.
I think Peanut might play it, though. Can you pick it into Jace? Because it's like a flex pick, right? An R4 pick, if it's a flex, is pretty strong. The Skarner is the last remaining tank that we've seen kind of played in the jungle. Not necessarily to that much success here in the LCK, but I don't think I'd have any troubles trusting Peanut on a champion that's all about setup.
Yeah, no, you definitely pick it away. I would say. Then again, Zeus probably has something else to play into Jace. Let's be real.
True. The Ivern is what they're considering for the moment, but instead, Poppy going to be looked at. Could be for the jungle, could be for Andil.
It is looking better and better for our 6-game Dreamer, Atlas. That is what I'm looking
for. If there's a draft that you can beat this team with, it's something that looks around about like this.
We'll see if it's Poppy for Andil or for Sponge. I prefer it on Sponge.
Yeah, I'd like to see something a little bit more aggressive towards the bottom side as Karma. That would be exactly what I'm talking about, and they're going to lock it in.
And now the top lane matchup doesn't even... Yeah, okay.
I mean, it was going to be the Nidalee, wasn't it?
The top lane matchup doesn't even really matter when you really think about it, because you're winning bot. Mid, depending on jungle intervention, is going to be looking good. Top lane isn't real. We have established this. It's fine. Just don't worry about it. And DRX, we have learned. I forgot against which team you did this. Remember when DRX chased someone in mid lane and then they just kind of lost the game off of it? That happened like 3 times, I swear.
Yeah, I think I've probably pushed that one out of my memory.
Good.
Sense. That's okay. It's a beautiful draft. It's a beautiful draft for DRX. They can do it.
Nidalee's a problem, Atlas.
No, she's not. She's a construct. We don't have to believe in it. Let's dive onto the Rift for game number 2.
수환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
I'm sorry, I used your own logic against you, and I should not have done that. That was cruel and unusual.
No, actually, because my initial thought was to retort saying not everything can be a construct, and then I've never, ever helped myself to that own standard, so it's actually checkmate.
Oh.
It worked well. It's when I, you know, when I turn around, you're trying to tilt me joke around on you, and you're just like, oh!
Yep. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous. Okay, LazyFeel and Andil set up here towards the bottom side of the map, and Varus Karma is so much power. I do like the fact that LazyFeel has gone for the lethal tempo as well. I think that in a situation like this, you're going to be probably shooting Peanut a bunch, and he will be able to get through him if he is on that champion. Yukao will also have a fair bit of power in that regard as well. But Victor Azir means that we're probably, like, I don't want to look at this matchup very much. Until maybe level 6, where the flashes get traded. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Post 6 is fun. I want to just see top lane matchup.
I want to see what Sponge is going to be able to get up to on this Poppy. You can really mess up games for teams just by using your ultimate. Creating those man advantages can really work, as Sponge is in the enemy jungle. I don't know whether, did he walk over that ward in order to get there? That's the question, as we might just have vertical jungling if Peanut does know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, vertical jungling would be really good for HANWHA Life, because it gives Delight and Viper the ability to just freely push for 2, which they are hitting first.
Yeah.
Maybe try and stack a big wave.
See whether they can put that pressure on. As Sponge not going to be in vision of these minions, I do not believe. As we see some pings out. On to Zeus.
I just, look for and Zeus is not going to be expecting that. Even with the ward, the positioning of this gank is going to kind of catch him off guard. I do think we see the question mark ping.
Ooh, it's only Faker that's been able to win on this Azir, as Peanut, as we kind of expected, is just going to drive his way through a couple of walls to start on this bottom side. And it's Zeka that's actually going to be his target. 300 health on Zeka here. As Sponge running for him, finds the flash, but Zeka's going to flash immediately to get himself away. Still, you know, the Q is going to miss, and so Sponge is going to run away. But there was a theoretical opportunity, and it looks like Sponge, with the fact that he's now made his way through mid, is going to stop Peanut from taking away his red buff. Unless Peanut does some funny business, you can see him sticking around, picking up some rocks and things like that.
Still not a bad trade for Sponge if he gets his red.
Yeah. Peanut's actually...
Renata's ahead of the roam, but I think Sponge does have a smite available as well.
Andil's moving in. Let's see whether he can actually get over here, as the ward is going to get pulled out. And Andil will be able to get a mantra Q over this wall, or just a regular Q. As we see here, though, Sponge able to pick this one up. Yukao gets himself out of there. Peanut not able to find too much. Will throw a rock, but is going to miss.
That's nice. A lot of time wasted there for Peanut. So it's a... It was only Grump that was picked up by Peanut in return.
Okay, Viper going to spend a little bit of time. He flashed forward, okay. LazyFeel feeling a little bit worried about this one as Delight moves his way back in. The flash out, handshake gonna go wide. And we are just putting summoner spells on cooldown. The answering maneuver is pretty nice here though, as LazyFeel stacking up some Blight. Delight getting taken down low, flash has to be employed. Intelligent there from Delight, I think.
He would have died.
Yep.
Yeah, that was I'm pretty sure
that was W empowered. That would have been a kill.
Guaranteed kill. DRX, their early game, looking pretty good. Trading up favorably in subs. Sponge's invade was successful. Not game-breaking by any means, because Peanut is also able to catch a second rotation. Peanut also got the topside scuttle, and I don't think he'll be able to get botside scuttle if Undo and Lazyfield pull another wave, and it does look like it's going to be a single scuttle, but still, now gets clear for the rest of the jungle. Peanut's still fine, but still, nicely done there early on.
Yeah, and this little scuffle towards the bottom side looked great for DRX, but you can see, like, Viper is still going to be ahead in farm. After this wave crashes, Peanut also looking to try and put on a little bit of pressure here, but decides to not give away his position. And Sponge will be able to collect the crabs. So we're going even on crabs. Zeka and Yukao continuing to just lane against one another. Level 5s both. Waiting for the Emperor's Divide to come in.
I don't know if you noticed, is there another reason for Peanut to be Mr. Krabs besides the fact that he is a jungler and he loves scuttle crabs?
Maybe it has something to do with him being Sponge's boss or something like that.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think your reasoning is a lot more solid.
Which is weird, because it's normally not. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a gap in my logic.
Uncanny change of dynamic.
Yeah, this feels wrong. I'm bothered by it. Sponge just getting to work on his Raptors. Looks like a Hextech Drake could be on the menu for someone, as Andal's going to be moving on in, not able to stop these backs. And Viper puts his shoes together. We're a wave behind on Lazyfield's side, but even on items, so that doesn't feel too bad. Just a dagger, which doesn't mean all that much.
You know, and this isn't related directly to these games, but I gotta really highlight, yesterday was one of the first times that I ever came to Lorbeck as a fan. Two of my close friends are here. It's so different. And it's so weird, because I come here every, 4 days a week, right? And I have for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
But it's still such a different feeling just walking in through the normal gates and taking your seat and seeing the players come in and not from the angles that we normally do. It was really cool. I love Low Park. It's such a fun experience.
I actually think it's super cool as well. Like road shows are like that times 100.
Yes.
Because oftentimes if you're in an arena but you're working, you never really get to walk through the crowd.
You don't.
And stuff like that. And experience the atmosphere. Even like the opening lobby is just so cool, and you really don't get that if you're at work.
I was also there yesterday. We came in during T1 DK, so obviously the entire lobby was crowded.
Yep.
And then my heart was broken by DK being mercilessly slaughtered, but you know, I took that in stride because I wasn't on the broadcast, so I could just.
Rich is dead.
Oh.
There's kills him for first blood. What it means, we're yet to find out.
Aw, kind of bad for Rich.
Yeah.
I did see the frustration on his face.
Yeah, it's not great. We expected this to be a difficult matchup, and who would have thought it was? Things going okay elsewhere, and you can see the gold lead not exactly skyrocketing, right? It's not like they're augmenting an already great early game with a first blood, but still a little bit worrisome here.
Yeah, I want to delve a little bit into, with the changes, laning phases have started to matter so much more. Because before we used to swap sometimes minute 3, right?
Yeah.
And the swaps do kind of take away because you play a lot more as...
I've seen this play before.
Exactly, except Sponge didn't flash this time.
Yep.
But laning phases are a lot more important. So if you have a dominant laner, that ends up being a really big win for you, as unfortunately doesn't hit the shock blast, so Zeus can just all in with reckless abandon, and then it's the execute damage there on Cougar form.
Yeah, the takedown is so powerful.
Yeah, that really kind of booms Rich. And the reason why it sucks so much to die in this 1v1 is because this is a dreadful matchup. You're not having fun. You get out-poked, out-sustained, you don't get to play the game. But if you die once, it just gets infinitely worse.
Yep. Fate's Call going to come on through here as Viper slowed down momentarily. Flash out from Andal. Peanut trying to turn up here as he flashes and finds the max range Impale. Lazyfield will be able to cleanse this and flashes eventually to get himself out of the way. So no summoner spells left. Emperor's Divide going to throw Zeker under the turret. He has to take the long way round because he has no flash. And now Yukao trying to kill him. He flashes over the gravity field. He needs an Arise and he won't have it. Conquering Zen's not there and Zeker survives. Oh dear, and
no!
now Peanut is going
Okay,
to
it's
welcome insult to injury. Thankfully, Sponge going to be there.
I don't know if Yuka was out of range, but I think he autoed a minion there once. I don't think it would have been enough. I think Zeka was shockingly healthy. Sponge.
Sponge wanting to leapfrog Peanut here, but realizing he's not quite going to be able to. Andal comes in as well, and Zeka is going to do the walk north strategy. We'll get him out of there.
Can't believe he lived for... He's giggling!
Yeah.
He's like, I lived. Lol.
It's so unfair.
It
Sponge
is.
now looking to try and at least get something. The Consolation Raptors might be an opportunity here, and he will be able to take that one away.
Really, Zeka has shown the importance of doing your cardio.
Oh,
you know, making sure that you're in good shape and you can get those runs in. Just walks it off. Or hiking, at least.
Zeus just taking grasp stack after grasp stack, and it just feels awful, right? I can feel it from Rich's perspective.
Oh.
Every time that auto comes in, I'm like, I gave him a free stack. Oh, I gave him a free stack again. And it's just how it's going to go for the entirety of this lane. Does sometimes feel like top lane is a thankless task.
It is. Yeah, it takes a special kind of... No, don't gank him.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's
cruel. Rich. It's rich. Don't
It's inhumane. It's inhumane.
Can't do that.
Don't do it.
No, he just TP'd in, even if he doesn't die. No!
Yeah, Peanut's going to do it, isn't he? Zeus, Primal Surge, try and get his health bar back up. Good flash there from Rich. And Zeus thinks he's still dead. I don't know whether that's going to be exactly true.
But it doesn't matter. Oh, Atlas!
Yeah. This is so rough. All right, Sponge even going to get spotted there as a rock gets thrown over the wall.
Have you watched the new, well, it's not new at this point, but the Series of Unfortunate Events, the show?
No, I haven't actually. Was it good?
The new one, yes. But the opening theme song starts with "Look away, look away." Everything from here out is nothing but this. That's Rich.
Yeah.
That's just playing on repeat in his head right now.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the good old Lemony Snickets is a pretty good way of figuring out how Rich is feeling.
Neil Patrick Harris, isn't it? There's a lot of music.
Yeah, I was actually thinking if you're going to replace Jim Carrey with anyone, Neil Patrick Harris is a pretty decent option.
It is. I mean, it's, you know, it's a kid show, kind of. Not really. You know the books, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's great. I would highly recommend it. I think you'd enjoy it. Which means that you're not going to watch it, just like I'm not going to watch.
No, I think I probably will watch it, Chronicler.
Oh, then
of your recommendation.
And then I'm going to feel bad.
That
actually is a much better way to get me to do stuff.
All right, Emperor's Divide is going to pull back Zeka once again.
They got him!
This time he's dead. You only needed 3. Just the Azir alone was not quite enough with the help of the turret, but they do manage to kill him here, and that's going to even out the kills. It's in fact going to give DRX a little bit of a gold advantage. As are we sitting up? Are we getting ready? Are we feeling like perhaps?
Now, I know you haven't looked at your hands yet, but I have.
Yeah,
not quite.
Ain't no game on there.
Not yet.
I had a peek. No spoilers.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, now that we have the
there.
caster cam, that people can see that whenever you say that, you actually look at your...
I do. I have to make sure.
Yeah, okay, but you could just do it as a bit. But...
I know, but I'm not... look,
You know,
it's
you're
about
about
honesty.
life. Yeah,
It's
I
about
know.
honesty.
You gotta
always
sell
gotta
it.
check the hands.
It's like voice actors, you know, when it X out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same.
Otherwise, you're going to get the vibes wrong. Okay. Viper and Peanut going to get to work on this dragon. Should be able to take this one down. 12.5 minutes for the first one. Going to be a little bit of a late dragon. Still, HLE blocking that one up. Going to feel nice. And the 3 grubs going over to DRX could be important, mainly because Zeus doesn't have them. And that's going to feel really nice.
Sponge has really been having a good day. I know he tapered off towards the end on the Pantheon in that previous game, but...
106 to 68 is pretty nice. He's been denying a lot of camps.
And Peanut is the guy that does this.
Yeah.
Generally on Poppy, so it's cool to see. Now, obviously, Peanut's not going to be bothered. He is playing Skarner. So.
Yeah, and Skarner as well has, like, this has happened to Skarner. Like, the opposition goes double the CS and Skarner still has Impale.
I truly can't believe that he was able to come back from, you know, the big deficit, the hairbat, with Hecarim, because that is a champion that notoriously does need money.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything
As
later
this
on.
is why we are not necessarily believers in the Victor is good into Azir.
Has it ever been good? Like, this has been happening forever.
Well, we keep looking at it.
You put Victor's flash on cooldown and then it's problematic. As Yukal has a few friends up here towards the top side. Peanut
He's
moving on in.
a lot more slippery, though, this bird.
Yeah, we've got Pigeon versus Cat and Scorpion.
Does he spot Sponge? I think he will. Yeah, so Zeus, unless they go for a dive, looks like Zeus is also going to ensure that that is not the case. Checks the brush.
Yeah, Buckler can
Didn't
get thrown
leave.
over and doesn't get stunned. And now Sponge may be dead. Keeper's Verdict just going to get channeled. He is going to let that one dissipate so he doesn't get the full cooldown.
And he enables a Side Slash.
Yeah.
Big win.
There we go. Oh, I love to hear that. That's okay. Rich going to push in a wave. Look at that. Rich pushed in a wave that gets unanswered. That's a trade up. He's still down in levels and CS by a decent margin, but he's got his Ghost Blade.
Demolish Proc? No, don't punish him for
Oh,
Demolish Proc.
No.
Stop bully!
Yeah, Peanut's going to flash. Remember, Rich doesn't quite have his available just yet. Trying to turn it on the Viper here, doing decent damage. Gets a flash. That's already kind of worth. Gets rendered and completely obliterated there by Viper on the Callista. Feels fantastic for him to get a little bit of money. And HLE will move into an advantage. Also looking to get some extra damage on this outer turret at the same time as Yukal gonna get hand shook, and that's gonna interrupt. Okay, no, actually did have shifting sands, but it does not matter. That's Delight picking up the kill. And things going from bad to worse. If it was just the kill on Rich, I think things would have been okay. But now it's gonna be definitely this turret going down towards the bottom side. And that's going to be a lot of extra power. Sponge, Hex flashing over, you mentioned the unlocking of that ability. And that's going to work out, but now Viper is getting engaged on here by Rich. Yeah, that is a really good question, Chronicler. Peanut tanked a few turret shots, and Rich is going to put that flash back on cooldown yet again. And yeah, Rich is dead.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Rich. I get it.
Yeah, a little bit head in hands after that one.
If you're a top laner in League of Legends, you know this feeling, right? So, kill number one, his mistake, but your matchup is unplayable. It's a tilter, right? But you gotta lock in. You can't let that get to you. Then the second death is
you
like,
get
oh
ganked
my god,
and there's nothing you can do.
I want what now? I want one Demolish Proc. Just one.
Oh, that's true.
Just TP'd. Yeah. You don't get the proc. And then you just want to catch the wave. Are you allowed to? No, but at this point you are already tilted out of your mind. You TP, you flash, you don't save the turret, enemy Callista gets another kill.
Yep. And now Sponge is over here. Does manage to steal away the Krugs. And Andal's going to move on up there as well.
Atlas are weak range.
What is that? Oh, 5 gamers. Yeah. Well, we might be. Unless. It's only a 1.5k gold lead. Right? I want you to hold up the optimism. There's an 800 gold advantage for the Poppy. Ignore this, as that was a decent little boot back. Zeus going to miss the spear onto Rich, who underneath this inner turret is going to be able to get some farm.
HANWHA Life only have one dragon. That's
there you
not
go.
that many.
It was a very late one. 3 minutes until Otacons available. 40 seconds until the Cloud Dragon. This might be a fight opportunity.
Play around objectives. Or really, leads are not real. You know, leads are a construct because you have Poppy on your team.
True.
So you can just ult away enemy players and there's nothing they can do.
You see that? Light stacks getting procced onto Viper here, doing a fair bit of damage as Shelly just going to pop up and end this turret. That is going to successfully happen. There we go. They don't even get the 25 gold from killing her either. High value. That's going to move the gold much closer.
Oh, a punish? Perchance? No, he knows.
Yeah. Ball goes in.
Well, it's very Zeus to just, walk up anyway. Reinforcements are on the way, so I think DRX can't quite do this.
Is he perhaps just allowed to walk up? Is the question. Is Peanut on a control ward going to pull this dragon out of the pit?
Get him, Lazy Field. No, don't get him. It's a trap. Just let him have the dragon. Is Orcs paying attention? Okay, quick, yes or no?
Yes.
I think no. I think it's checked out.
All right. So that means that it's going to be Chemtech, but it's not. Nice work, Bob.
He's checked in.
Yeah, there we go. He knows that there's a possibility for a DRX something in this game as Delight finds the handshake and the flash has to be in answer. As Andal, why?
Well, they got collapsed on, right? So like,
yeah.
He didn't really have anywhere to go. Will end up going down.
Just holds him in position.
Peanut, stop dancing!
Yeah, he's having a good time, isn't he?
He wasn't, but it wasn't just the emote. He was doing the little.
Yeah.
It was a little.
As a lawnmower as well.
Yeah.
Makes it even more worrisome. Spear not going to connect. And Yukal having to play pretty far back. Hex Flash coming through from Sponge, who's playing with so much gusto. He's kind of the only one on this team. Didn't get the memo that perhaps they're falling behind.
Lazyfield looks for an ult, does not find it. But it's the journey, not the destination.
Well, I mean, it's more the destination rather than the journey. Because we need to just be at a dead HANWHA Life Esports Nexus at the end of the game. That's the most important thing.
I take back what I said. Destination is worthless.
Yep, yep.
All that matters...
Wait, no. Journey is worthless.
Why did you... I love it, like, yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that you got me. That,
No, I did.
And then you did, but then said the wrong thing. So that was what was confusing.
You responded to my intention, not my words.
And I actually personally think that words are meaningless and intent means everything.
I like that.
Well, they're not meaningless.
I don't, but I like it for the sake of this discussion.
Yeah, words are purely used as a vehicle for
intention.
Displaying your intention. And sometimes you get that wrong.
Okay, but you can also use words to obstrue your intention and hide it.
True, but your intention is then to be a liar. And so the
still
intention
serves
is still bad.
you're right. It still serves the purpose.
Yep. I think intent is very important. As DRX, once again, back to philosophical conversations, we need some action, and we're getting a zoom out. Andal and Sponge possibly in a dire spot.
It's just Peanut going in.
Yeah, it ain't money for nothing. Okay, that is definitely an old reference. I didn't even say Dire Straits, I just said the word dire. Okay, Sponge moving in once again. He's looking for a fight. He's surrounded by 3 people. Yukal looking for an opportunity. Keeper's Verdict does do a fair bit of work here. And the Redemption going to be keeping HLE safe.
There's a Cougar-shaped problem in the bot lane.
There really is. And it's a return to base here for Yukal. He's got teleport. He's going to go for an aggressive one, as we can see here. And in fact, doesn't decide to go back to base. Is instead just going to come in and see whether he can take down Zeus. HLE take that as an opportunity, which they rightly should, to try and take this Otacon. The rest of them, oh my god, that Shock Blast did a lot of work. The transformation from this Jace has come in. And Zeus does not have teleport, so it's not like HLE could utilize him returning to base as an opportunity here. So DRX do what they wanted to do, which was dissuade them from taking the Otacon. I'm checking the hands. Still nothing.
Rich and Otacon. Best buddies, who knew?
Yeah, nailing it. 0-3 Jace. That was the most damage a 0-3 Jace has ever done in my brain.
All he needed was the objective to take away the resistance.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Makes sense. You know, if you're rich, yeah, probably good buddies with the bouncer.
Have you ever heard of if at first you don't succeed?
Try again.
Yeah. You could say more tries, just depends on how many times they've tried. As they are going to go for it one more time. Once again, DRX in position to deny it. As Rich down towards the bottom side. Zeka is the one that's parked down here with teleport in hand.
There's no TPs for DRX, so it doesn't really matter who they send here. I try and have Rich just take his objective, or his waves rather, in peace.
Yep. He is going to immediately run back into Fog of War. So HLE not in position to start the Otacon up again.
Starrick's done now for Zeus as well. 2-item spike hit for him.
Yeah, Delight moving over. I don't think that this is a DRX start the Otacon type situation. I think that is definitely not happening.
Well, yeah, I think you can. Again, you just need to turn quickly, because you have the shield from Karma, and you can use the Azir and the Poppy.
Whoa, the flash forward, Chains of Corruption are going to connect there as well as Lazyfield trying to layer the damage. The Impale is going to be used, but very defensively here from Peanut. Still, he might be able to buy enough time as Zeus off out of position here, and the Renata is just going to go down. Yukal actually picking the flash from Zeka. That's gorgeous. Lazyfield gets in position. Sponge looking for a bit more though, and now Viper is hopping mad. Oh dear, I think it was a good attempt from DRX, but it may not necessarily work, as now Rich fighting Zeus as Lazyfield goes down to the Cougar. And Rich has died to him before, but not this time! It's still going to be Otacon going down. Viper and Peanut should be able to deal with this.
Rich.
Oh, never mind.
Rich.
Rich.
Oh, I thought he was going to try and stop them.
He could have almost done it, but decides instead to go for this mid lane inner turret, or at least denying some farm or something like that. But still, it's not the worst fight in the world for DRX. That's so many sticks. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man, it looked like a sea urchin.
So,
Okay.
Sponge My guy, you're a baller. Love that energy. Just goes in.
It's been all game. He's ignored the
really,
game state entirely.
He's really trying on this Poppy, trying to create opportunities for his team. And it's that sets up this play on the Light, right? The Light just straight up gets 100 to 0'd. And then Yukel with a beautiful ult on Zeka takes him down, but he also gives his own life. And if in this play you have Lazy Feel and Rich there, I actually think they could have turned the game there.
Yep.
But Lazy Feel is zoned, doesn't get to join the fight, and Rich, even though he beat Zeus, he wasn't there. And he couldn't because, again, he didn't have the TP. So it makes sense, but it does mean that when all is said and done, Atlas, HANWHA Life still get the Otacon, and now are here to fight for its objective.
Oh, there's the denial of Soul Point.
DRX not giving up, and neither are we.
They only need to do that another 3 times.
And then they are actually in a great spot. What do you think that 80 top Nidalee is going to do against a quadruple stacked Mountain Soul?
Not a lot of damage. Maybe build an armor penetration item of some kind. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think that necessarily fits the classic Nidalee top builds. But,
yeah, it's fine. You just go, like, do you go Cleaver or like Terminus?
I have no idea. Doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun.
No, like, I don't think you go LDR. Yeah, let's hope it doesn't get to that for Zeus. I don't think it will.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Maybe it's like, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, depends. I don't know what he's going to go next. Because I was kind of expecting the Hullbreaker, but we'll see what he actually ends up going with.
All right, Viper could be in a little bit of trouble here as Sponge closes the gap. Flash comes out. Viper now trying to answer, but it's a good hail of arrows. Lazy Field keeping them at bay.
Can I vote for Sponge?
Yeah.
I know they might lose, but can I still vote for Sponge?
Oh, just because you think that he's played really well?
Yeah.
Why don't you vote for someone on HLE if they win, and then just say, by the way, Sponge did a really good job today. In your
That's a good comment.
Yeah, I reckon you just rely on the comment there. As Andal just taking so much damage from the Arcane Storm. Hostile Takeover doesn't really do too much. It's Fate's Call just going to pull out Delight. DRX still looking for an opportunity. That is a great flash from Rich as Peanut gets the bailout, and they do manage to bail him out, but it's not enough. As now Yukel once again just doing something weird, throws away the ultimate, and Viper will survive. Lazy Field getting a whole bunch of shots into Zeka here, and there it is. Finishes him off with the piercing arrow. Now Zeus going to get turned on. There are some low health bars. Zeus without the mana to really do too much. Although he is Nidalee, so not too worried about that in Cougar form. Still able to get himself out of the way, and the Baron has been secured. They just don't go for the extra fight because they don't have to. Lazy Field. Zeus, Spear, gonna go wide. Okay, I'm scared for everyone at this point in time.
Oh.
Okay, Zeus keeping him interested.
He doesn't
no
have
one else
mana,
here.
so
Yeah. Okay, Lazy Field just walks up, and now he can, because he has that bit of lifesteal. It has built up the health bar. Let's have a look here as the Baron just gets secured by HLE.
I want to see what happens here, because the Light does a great job of zoning Sponge. Sponge doesn't get a position to smite. And then that flash from Rich ensures that Peanut almost ends up going down, but then right here, Peanut gets the bailout, and then Viper...
Yukel, like, it was
Yukel
the
just,
weirdest shifting sands situation.
I really thought that he clipped him, but he clearly didn't. I think it was the cleanse from Viper that threw me off. Because I remember seeing an animation. I thought it was like Edge of Night, but he doesn't have that.
No. Yeah, no, he did. He cleansed the heroic charge.
Yeah. So Yukel just barely falls short. Viper stays alive. And so much damage also went into Peanut, who then revived. And he died afterwards, but... Well, the end of the world is DRX. They are not giving up. They are unrelenting.
And Lazy Field almost has item parity with Viper. And in fact, like, it's impossible for him to buy the item that Viper has in advantage. So, I mean, we'll just let him off the hook for that one. Zeus in the mid lane now. And Yukel looking for a little bit of an angle. That is going to push Zeus away, achieving what they wanted to achieve. And HLE just going to utilize this Baron to take the inner turret towards the top side of the map. The Red Bull Baron power play is going to reach about the 2,000 mark. There it is, 2.4k, as Peanut looking for even more. And the siege is continuing without too much of an answer here. Sponge looking for a bit of an angle. Yukel wanting to get in there. As Peanut taking some decent damage. Zeka in that front line, wanting to push them away. And Lazy Field actually doing a decent job just against Zeus by himself. Another Arcane Storm just to make Andal annoyed. pretty successful here as well, as the inhibitor turret will remain alive for the moment.
Zeus went Abyssal.
That's an Abyssal Mask. Yeah, we were wondering what he was going to do about the potential dragon situation.
Huh.
I don't know whether that is necessarily the answer, but it's a cool item, and it will help Zeka do a lot of damage if this Nidalee is involved in a team fight. And as we say that, Zeka finishes off a very cool hat.
Yeah, no, I'm also, with how Zeus has been playing, he has been playing more towards the team fights, so I do think that that tracks. Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Nidalee does a lot of mixed damage, even if you build AD. As DRX now getting into position, 10 seconds until this Mountain Drake is going to connect onto Yukal.
Oh, makes playing into the Zero and Silent a lot better, because he does much less damage. Zeus is just going to remain annoying on the side. But Rich, I know he's behind, but he's still at item parity relatively.
Oh, there's an Impale onto Sponge. He is a very tanky target. We can see he's just kind of refusing to take damage here, and the poke coming out from DRX. It's pretty decent. The Dragon looking to be started up here.
Come on, DRX.
Lazy Feel is going to take an inner turret.
Got the Sponge.
Yeah, Sponge's going to have to land the Keeper's Verdict. But instead, they are just going to give up this Dragon, and they're going to trade it for an inhibitor turret in mid lane. If DRX can stop the backs, maybe it's even an inhib. I don't know about that one, but still, it's a fair bit of money going on over to DRX as a response to this. And I kind of don't mind it, making the best out of a bad situation, right?
I think it's okay. I do think you also are in deep trouble if they get the Mountain Soul, but at that point, you know, is there anything that you can really do? Probably not. DRX,
all right, Zeus could be in a whole lot of trouble. They're taking the cat for a walk. Peanut is going to make his way down, and Zeus is a lot tankier than he's been in other builds. Still, Sponge comes in, and Rich is able to get the damage. Zeka comes in, but he's not enough. Look at him run! Is it? Wait, hang on, checking the hands. I'm seeing there's some. It's faded, but it's there. It's there, Chronicler. I swear to God.
Are the rumors true? He's rubbing his hands. Are you rubbing it off or are you rubbing it on?
No, I'm seeing whether it's permanent. Like maybe it's fake, but it's not. It's not looking fake. It's faint. But it is not fake.
Faint but not fake.
Yeah, it's difficult to say those two words in the same sentence as Peanut. Looking to try and make them fake.
Faint but not fake sounds like a really good emo band from like 2007.
Yeah. The Faint was actually, that was a band name, wasn't it? That was a band.
I don't know, but I'll take your word for it.
They played a song in one of my favorite rollerblading videos back in the day. As Lazy Feel clears out the minion wave in mid, as Yukal going to secure the red buff for the team. 7-11 is the score at the top of the screen as well, which is convenient.
Because it allows us to talk about...
No, it's a convenience store.
I know that. Wait, you knew that I knew that!
It really goes around a lot of circles, doesn't it? Lazy Feel has actually purchased a Zhonya's Hourglass as well. I actually think it's so... That's a really cool item buy. Very similar to champions like Kai'Sa, Varus is happy to build a bit of AP, and the utility for that item is going to be very, very strong.
Yeah!
All right, just stop Baron. Why not? They get the teleport immediately. They can look for a turn now. As Rich picks the gap. That's actually 6 points. There were 4 posts set up as Keeper's Verdict gets channeled, and it's somehow Lazy Feel that takes the Baron. Now Zeus fighting against Rich. He takes the blast going to get out. Peanut's already dead. Viper is in a bit of trouble as Delight is going to be there. The bailout comes through. They take down the Renatas. This bailout's not going to work, and it's Yukal that grabs the kill. Now Lazy Feel needs to fight for his life, and it does not work. Andil, just try and survive. Rich, please don't die. Andil's really dead, but he's going to try and buy some time. He takes the cat for a walk. Cats don't normally like that, although some of them do. This one certainly does not. And Rich is going to deal with this wave. The last remaining Baron. It's still faint, Chronicler, but it's there.
I was ready. I was building up to just yelling the hands, look at the hands. But then he did kind of lose the fight as Lazy Feel. One of the biggest things I love about the Varus when you build some APs, you shred tanks, absolutely obliterate them, but then Viper goes insane here, right? Even though he ends up losing, as he just
it was so
barely
much damage.
Doesn't have enough health. It's very, very close, and he ensures that Lazyfield does in fact die. And then if Omnil was there just to give a single shield, if he could somehow have stuck by Lazyfield, that could have been a difference maker, but didn't have the cooldown, I'm pretty sure. As Randuin's now done for Zeus as well.
My goodness.
I like this more than his than his Renekton builds, but I do also think that Tank Nidalee feels a little...
So you do need a reason to exist. And doing damage is kind of Nidalee's only reason to exist. So now, yes, you'll take a while to kill, but you're just not doing very much while that's happening.
Surely. This is a must-win fight, though. And the Baron buff is still there for Rich.
Sponge going to interrupt Peanut here.
No, Sponge, I trust him. He has face rush, he's poppy.
He is just walking circles around him, man.
Literally!
He's looking good.
Rich.
Viper on a flank angle. Rich also on a flank angle as DRX looking instead. They've...
Okay, no. You can do this with... Wait, no, they're 25 seconds. Yeah, they just got the in-air.
Yeah, eyes on the prize. The backs are going to come in here from HLE. Back. Exactly. They have to defend because there's a minion wave in Baron, remember. Rich still has it. And they have 3 grubs. They're going to do some decent damage there. They take the inhibitor. They've got super minions now, aiding them in their mission towards denying the soul. It's an 1800, 1900 Rebel Baron power play here for DRX.
DRX, come on. We all need this. We all need this. We need you to get it together and get this win!
I am so proud of everyone that helped manifest this situation here. As DRX, it's winnable, but it's still looking rough.
Can we get Texas?
Yeah.
You know, like just like with
maybe DRX tax, is that a thing? Zeus on a decent flank angle here as the Impale goes wide. Still gets the crash into the wall. Peanut will not get ulted away, but it's the smite from Sponge to deny the soul. Still, they have to try and win a fight here as HLE have got them all split up. Sponge takes a while to go down, but go down he eventually does. And Zeus dashing forward, finds the pounce. And DRX, oh no, they're looking a little aceable at this point in time. They're going to have to stand their ground. Yukal trying to be a hero, but once again, he throws the Emperor's Divide away. And Zeka, he flashes out of it. Yukal not taking too much damage here from Peanut as Lazyfield doing a whole bunch. But Viper comes in and says, no, I'm sorry, it's not happening. There's an ace for HLE. And oh man, it was faint, but maybe it was one of those fake tattoos that you get from the school fair. And it is just all washed away. No more game on the hands. It's looking like HLE just want to close this one out.
And despite the heroics, despite the back and forth, looks like DRX is still just going to get 2-0'd, but those that watched this game knew that that wasn't the real story.
Oh no, it was certainly not. There is also Sponge back available. He doesn't have Keeper's Verdict. Maybe they don't win the game here.
The Nexus, wait, the Nexus doesn't fall. They didn't get sold.
Yeah, they also...
This sidestep from Sponge.
Sponge is just playing so well. And like, the fact that the Keeper's Verdict missed, I was probably, like, Peanut and I were probably thinking the same thing, like, oh, it's in the bag.
Done.
And then it didn't quite work. Obviously, Callista and the Skarner together should have been able to lock that one down. Didn't actually happen. But then this position is just a little awkward and the ace does come in. Yeah,
I'm telling you, Zeka was so ready. He knew Yukal was going to try and make the play. Yeah. Fingers on the flash at the ready, and then here, Zeus. You know what? I take back everything negative I said about your tank build. You do you, buddy.
Absolutely fine. Just worked out. He's still 2,000 gold ahead.
But it's still technically a game Atlas because they didn't get the soul. And the mid lane nip down. Which means the highway to the Nexus is open.
It is. It's also open on the top side of the map for HLE, as they had already taken that inhibitor turret down.
It's okay. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
But mid lane highway.
True. Can we ride that mid lane highway, though? That is the question. Or will they get pulled over? That's the only continuation of the analogy that I really wanted to go with.
Is it just Peanut? I was like,
oh yeah, on his motorcycle. You know, from the intro videos. Oh, so cool. It's been a while.
If you haven't seen that, this is not an Atlas meme. This was a real thing. Yep. It was very cool. And if you don't think it's cool, then, well, I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
Yeah,
it was.
He also didn't drive it.
People don't need to know that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he totally drove it.
What we need to know is that we can see how Peanut knows how to stand next to a motorcycle.
Yeah, and that was before Rift Herald was drivable as well, so it's actually kind of cool now that knowing that Peanut rode that bicycle means that, you know, Shelly he's got that Shelly license.
Unlike,
Lazy Feel will be able to get the cleanse out from Viper, also takes a fair bit of damage here. DRX pressing some buttons, making some things happen.
GA done for Lazy Feel.
Yeah.
If you thought he was playing with Reckless Abandon before,
he certainly can now. Able to go golden in some of these fights as well. I think him standing further forward is going to be a really good idea.
He did before as well. I just...
Yeah, the playstyle won't change, but maybe the answers that he has to the aggressive playstyle are going to be better. Zeus looking to put on the pressure here towards the bottom side. Sundisk is up, but it's not going to stop this Nidalee. That's okay. Baron live. HLE, a lot of vision in the area. Banana Brush control, not theirs. As DRX is wanting to try and deny some of this if they can. Yukal and Zeus fighting. Both level 18. There are so many items on everyone right now. An arm guard is there for Yukal. Could actually be important for the next fight. As LazyFeel has started this one up, he's got a lot of DPS on this Varus. And Peanut's got a lot of health bar. Flashes to try and get Andil. They're just looking for one pick off at the start of this one. The hostile takeover doesn't get a lot of value as the Keeper's Verdict gets rid of the carry. That's a big one. Now Rich looking for an angle, but HLE, they just disengage. And DRX are going to be okay with it by the looks of things. Death Ray.
The health bars.
Oh dear.
They're so low, Atlas.
There are so many tools that are now missing, and Zeka is just in the Zeus is just in the bottom lane, yeah. And Rich is going to go back a little bit too late. Teleport to come in as the Emperor's Divide is going to find Zeka. Let's see if they get a kill. LazyFeel looking for the opportunity. Zeka's so incredibly low. LazyFeel distracted by Peanut, though. A Sponge will be able to take down the victor. But LazyFeel goes golden, then goes into his GA, and then he's going to go down, ladies and gentlemen, as he gets thrown into the wall and destroyed. Zeus is running amok, just killing everything in the enemy base. And it's only Andil that's left up and available. I think HLE, I think they are going to bring us to only 5 games here this evening. DRX trying so incredibly hard, but it was a great game.
They tried so hard, they got so far, but in the end, only Zeka dies.
Yeah.
And HANWHA Live are about to bring us to an end of week number 6.
And Andil is not going to be able to defend. As yes, they ran out of minion wave, but it doesn't seem to matter this time around. Even Peanut will survive, and the Nexus will go down. 41.5 minutes, and HLE, only one team